Hello everybody and welcome, I am Boom, and today we're going to take a look and see if I can beat the game Pokemon FireRed with only a Koffing. Previously I had done a Team Rocket duo run with Weezing and Arbok, but I wanted to see if this little ball of gas stood a chance on his own at a solo run without evolving. The poison types in this particular generation, in my opinion, were pretty interesting in the fact that a lot of them were pretty bulky, and Koffing is no different. With a defense of 85, we'll be tanking physical hits pretty well, and we have a decent enough attack and special attack. But that's kind of where the positive ends, at least with its stats. It's got low HP, low speed, and special defense. I can see that being a problem for us as the run goes on, especially because I'm sure you've noticed by now, at the beginning of games, a lot of Pokemon use physical attacks, but by the end, they rely more on special. To look at Koffing's moveset, well, given the fact that we can't use Self-Destruct or Explosion, that's two moves that are immediately out. Overall, the level up moveset is not the best, but the good news is, our TM list is massive. The amount of moves Koffing can learn is kind of bonkers, and given the fact that our attack and special are roughly the same-ish, it doesn't matter which we try to take advantage of, though having at least one or two stab moves will probably be a lifesaver. We grab our Koffing, and it's been a while since we've given the rival Squirtle, so he can go ahead and have it this time. We have a calm nature, which means a better special attack, but less physical attack. Honestly, I'm okay with that. Given our TM list, having a little extra oomph with our special will probably help us out. Our ability is Levitate, which is best case scenario because that just eliminates one of our weaknesses entirely. So, for the starting lab rival battle, we have Poison Gas and Tackle, and Poison Gas, while not accurate, can be beneficial, and we thankfully connect on the first one. After that, we're able to focus just on attacking. The lab rival is 99% of the time gonna be a win, unless we're just playing with a ridiculously weak Pokemon, or the rival gets a ridiculous amount of crits. Now that the rival's out of the way, we can go ahead and get through the beginning of the game and work on the forest as well. Given the fact that we have that partial poison typing, it actually doesn't take us too long to get through it. So, while we're working on getting through the forest, if you like this kind of content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're still about 1,000 hours away from partner, but we're always working on new content. I have a sad NPC video that I am still working on, and I'm itching to do a new randomizer race here soonish. Whether it be Zelda related or Pokemon related, I'm just wanting to do a bit more content, assuming that I have the time for it. Now that my schedule at work kind of seems to be, at the very least, not becoming less, but at least becoming more stable, I think I should be able to start streaming at least twice a week again here soon. In the meantime, though, we do have an optional rival fight to cover. The rival starts with Pidgey, and we get hit with Sand Attack, but we're mostly focusing on tackling. Granted, we miss a lot, but who needs to win these battles? When we take it down, though, our health isn't great, and the Squirtle and I trade a lot of attacks, but we do manage to take it down, and from there, we head for Pewter City. Now, the first gym battle of this game is Brock. This Rock-type leader will likely have a couple full heals on him, but at least it's not like Red and Blue where they had 5 or more to be able to heal, and that's each Pokemon. Honestly, I could see us being bulky enough to take on this gym, but it's gonna be rough. Let's see how we do. Brock starts with Geodude, and we use Poison Gas, poisoning the rock immediately. Since he likes to use Defense Curl, this is probably our best way to get around that, and then after that we do swap to Tackle, doing absolutely pitiful damage, but at least we have Poison taking its health away slowly but surely. We do end up taking it down with plenty of HP to spare, and then with the Onix, we're basically just trying to repeat the process, and just when I think we're going to take it down on a first try victory, it uses Wrap to deal passive damage, and that's just enough to take us out. We try this about 20 different times, and it's honestly the same thing every single time. We get close, and then it either uses Tackle to finish us off, or if we have plenty of health left, it'll just use Rock Tomb, outspeed us, and it's all bad. At level 17, we have enough bulk to be able to take the Koffing down and still be over half HP when the Onix is out, and it also ends up missing its attack, so that helps too. Even with all this luck helping us out, By the time that we actually win this battle, we're still almost taken down by the time that we finally do win. From there, we have some travel, and I clearly did not proofread this. I said in my script, from there we have some travel, and we have some travel to get through as well. We're just going to move on. I'm hoping that once Koffing gets a few levels, we'll be kind of good to go. Naturally, now that we have self-destruct readily available, I really want to press that Chaozu button, but then we technically lose the challenge. So, with more self-control than I ever thought I'd possess, I make it through Mount Moon without self-destruction. Now, the good news is, once we make it through the next couple gyms and the dreaded self-destructing hiker, we'll have access to plenty of buffs with a brand new moveset if needed. Now, the even better news is, even with Misty having a water psychic typing, the Starmie doesn't actually have any psychic moves. The bad news is, however, is that given our 45 in special defense, Water Pulse is still going to do a good chunk of damage. Misty first starts with Staryu and it uses Harden as we use Sludge, taking it to yellow and poisoning it. After that, Water Pulse hits for solid damage, but we actually do end up taking it out. Starmie is next and we get hit hard with Water Pulse, but since we don't one-shot it, we do go down the next turn. Let's try the Rival instead, see if that's any better. The Rival starts with Pidgeotto and we get hit with Quick Attack, taking it to yellow with Sludge. Gus does a little and then we can take it down. Next out is Abra, and it'll definitely be a problem later, but for now it's an easy knockout. Rattata comes out, and we can take it down with a single Sludge. After that, Squirtle is the last one, and we take it to yellow. Water Gun does decent damage, and then we can take it out without any issue. Yeah, from there, I really don't want to push my luck, so rather than going back and trying Misty again, we go ahead and start with the route to the north, clearing out the trainers there. There's plenty of them for us to face, so we're able to get a couple level ups along the way. But will it be enough to take on Misty? Let's find out. At level 26, Staryu still outspeeds and uses Harden as we take it to red and then Misty heals up. We tackle for weak damage as it hardens again before we swap back to Sludge and knock it out. Starmie is next and we get hit to almost half with Water Pulse and we take it to half. Another attack takes us to 11 HP, confuses us, and we push past it, but we leave it with a sliver, then get knocked out. 3 attempts later, we are trying the same strategy. We get taken to 15 HP this time, but we don't actually get a low roll on the damage, so we can take out the Starmie, and that wins us the badge. Now, from there, we have the ship and plenty of trainers on there to go against. It's not that I think Surge will be any kind of problem. Honestly, I think that he'll probably be a pushover. However, there are a few mandatory Rock-type trainers in the Dark Cave, and as it stands right now, we don't have any kind of way to deal super effective damage against them, which means that we're basically going to have to try to brute force our way through those fights. But for now, let's take a look at the next rival fight. Pidgeotto is first, and we can take it down with a single Sludge. Next out is Kadabra, and we swap over to Tackle as it uses Disable, taking it to red. Kinesis connects and we do take it down. After that, Raticate comes out and Hyper Fang barely does anything. We can tackle for solid damage, taking it to red as we gain access to Sludge and knock it out after a miss and a crit against us. Finally, he has Wartortle and Sludge takes it to red, poisons it, and we take it down next turn. Alright, that went better than I thought. Granted, we did lose once due to bad luck on Confusion, but now though, we can go fight Surge. Thankfully, Sludge is a move that doesn't rely on physical contact, so we'll be able to attack without worrying about static. We'll still have to worry about Thunder Wave, but I'll take not worrying about one of two things. Surge starts with Voltorb, and we open up with Sludge, knocking it out in one shot. Next out is Pikachu, and it's the same thing. Raichu is his last Pokemon, and it hits with Shockwave as we take it to red. Surge potions up, and we hit it with Sludge again. We get taken below half with Shockwave, and then we knock it out for a pretty simple victory in comparison to the battles that we've been dealing with before. Time for Rock Tunnel. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you here. Rock Tunnel is awful. We get knocked out repeatedly. Koffing is great, assuming we can deal at least neutral damage to whoever we go against, but if we can't do that, well, then more often than not, it's a losing battle. But painfully, after about 30 or more minutes fumbling in the darkness that is Rock Cave, Keeping in mind it usually only takes about 8 or 9 minutes, we make it out to the other side. We could go fight Erica, which I think we can win that. But first, I want to go to Giovanni. Out of the two, he'll probably be the hardest for us to face, but mostly I just want to see if we can win. So let's take a look at that battle first. Onix is his first Pokemon, and Bind does a little as Sludge connects for not so solid damage. It takes a while, but we do eventually take down the Onix, though now I'm really wishing I'd picked up the Game Corner TMs. We do poison the Rhyhorn turn 1, and we go into the same Slugfest, and thanks to a crit, we take it down a lot sooner than normal. Finally, he has Kangaskhan, and we get Tail Whipped, sludging it for solid damage. It Tail Whips again, and we take it to red. Bite takes a small bit of HP, and then we knock it out to win the battle. Alright, on to Erica. Erica first starts with Victory Bell, and we open with Sludge, taking it to yellow as Stun Spore misses. After that, we take it down, and thankfully, the Tangela following that is a one-shot. Vileplume is out, and we take it to yellow as the Stun Spore does end up connecting. Thankfully, the follow-up Giga Drain doesn't do too much, so we can actually knock it out, and that's another gym badge down. So now, we'll head back to the tower to wrap up this side of the map. By now, the rival honestly isn't too much of a threat, though admittedly, the next time that we run into him at Sylph, he'll be an absolute monster to deal with. But for now, Pidgeotto comes out first, and we use our best move we have available. That does take it out in one shot. Next to the eggs, and Sludge actually one-shots them as well. Kadabra actually doesn't outspeed us at this level, and we knock it out as well. We take the Growlithe to a sliver, poison it, and that takes it down. Finally, it's Wartortle, and we take it to yellow as it only sets up Withdrawal before we swap to Shockwave, knocking it out to win another pretty simple battle. With that out of the way, we have some travel, some Safari Zone Scramble, and a moment to talk about Koffing. Honestly, Koffing isn't doing the worst I've seen. No, that special spot is reserved for probably Pikachu. That was easily the worst of the Pokemon that I've had to use, and chances are we'll be doing that run again really soon. I had talked about completing the first dozen or so runs on my channel, and I've actually started working on those again. With any luck, next week will be Pokemon FireRed with a Bulbasaur. Last time I had beat the game at level 100, and it took me a long time since that was my first run that I ever did. The main goal in completing this series again is to see if we can beat it at a lower level, and hopefully with a lower in-game time as well. If you have any suggestions on any future runs that you want to see, make sure to drop them in the comments below. As you know, comments and likes on this video are the only way to make the algorithm happy. Also, at the time of recording this, I recently got the email that I am able to apply for a small part of YouTube Partner, getting super thanks, I think they're called, cheers, all that stuff. So that's exciting. That means that we are literally more than halfway there to becoming full partner. So hopefully in a few days I get that application back and we'll get a little bit more information. Or it may be up by the time I get this video, I don't know. But if the layout on my page looks a little bit different, that's probably why. But for now, as we finish up the Safari Zone, let's see how the fight against Koga goes. Poison v Poison should make for a pretty interesting slugfest. Koga first starts with Koffing, and we open with Sludge, doing not very much damage, but it doesn't either. We swap to Return, mostly just testing the waters, and that does a lot more. So Koga heals, and we use Return again, taking it below half, then knocking it out. Muck is next, and we use Return, taking it to not quite half as Muck uses Minimize. We miss, and Sludge does a bit of damage, then we take it to red. Koga heals up, and we spend some time missing. We do have Shockwave, and we use that to take it down. Once we take it back to red, we swap back to Return when the Koffing comes out and take it out in 2 returns. Finally, we have Wheezing, and Sludge is doing enough to be concerning with how low on health we are. We take it to below half as Wheezing uses Smokescreen, and we get taken out with a crit. This takes a few tries, but we do manage to take it out after a bit of luck. We do have to swap back and forth between Return and Shockwave due to the amount of smoke screens, but it didn't require a level up, so I'm gonna just take the win and go from there. We can head to Silphco, and the good news is, as always, if we can't win against the rival, we have plenty of trainers to fight, but let's see if we can beat the rival at this current level. Honestly, I have my doubts, but there's only one way to find out. Pain. The rival first starts with Pidgeot now, and we get hit with Wing Attack, and Sludge takes it to half, and it gets poisoned. We get hit again with Wing Attack and take it down. Next up is the Execute, and we can take it down in one Sludge. Alakazam is next, and it sets up Future Sight, as we use Sludge to take it to red, and it only uses Future Sight again, then goes down. We level up, and Growlithe is next, and we take it down with a crit that I'm 99.9% sure was needed. Last up is Blastoise, as we get hit with Future Sight, go down to 9 HP with a Bite, and then we only do about a quarter damage before going down. Okay, so we do go ahead and go around the building, leveling up against everyone, and then we try again. We get hit with Wing Attack, and Sludge takes it below half, as Wing Attack connects again, then it goes down. Execute is and will likely always be a one-shot, because then it goes down. Alakazam is next and only sets up Future Sight again before it goes down with a single shot this time. Growlithe comes out, we take it to red, getting hit with Flame Wheel before we take it down. Last up is Blastoise, and we get hit with Future Sight again. Blastoise protects, Water Gun does a good chunk, and then we're still not doing much before we go down. Alright, a few attempts in, and this battle begins the same as it had before, except this time Alakazam only sets up Calm Mind, and we actually get a critical hit, so we take it down without any type of issue. The Growlithe is about the same and goes down, and then with Blastoise, we spend a few turns smoke screening it. That allows us enough breathing room to be able to batter it with shockwaves and barely pull off a victory, though looking at our HP, it was still very close. Time for a quick heal up and hopefully a quick and easy fight against Giovanni. Giovanni starts with Nidorino, and we use Sludge, taking it to not quite half as Fury Attack basically pings off of us. So we swap over to Return and knock it out. Next up is Kangaskhan, and we take it to right about half as Rage doesn't do a thing. After that, another Sludge can take it out. Next up to bat is Rhyhorn, and we continue with Sludge. Oh, that does not do much at all. Let's go ahead and speed this part up a bit. Alright, that's out of the way. Thankfully, Nidoqueen is pretty easy to take down after that, and that wins us the battle. Alrighty, so the next gym leader is someone that I believe I lost a few members of my poison-only Nuzlocke teammates against. I don't know if that sentence was right, but I'm not correcting it. Sabrina is fast, hits hard, but thankfully her mons typically go down pretty easy with physical moves, so let's see if we have any type of chance. Kadabra is first and opens with Reflect as we use Sludge, taking it down in one hit. Next up is Mr. Mime, and we actually outspeed it, taking it to yellow as it uses Barrier, and the next Sludge can take it down. Alakazam is the scariest of them and immediately wrecks us with Psychic. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, we attach the Quick Claw, and the first half of the battle is about the same. Then, due to the Quick Claw, we outspeed the Alakazam and take it down. And then after that is a Venomoth, and we're able to take it down with a few attacks, and that wins the battle for us. That went better than I thought. That it was what I'm assuming is going to be the hardest of the gym leaders, and thankfully it wasn't that hard. There's a chance with Blaine having 2 Mons with Intimidate, we'll have some trouble. But the good news is, even with our poor special attack, we can learn plenty of moves that rely on that if absolutely needed. We go through the Burnt Mansion, and then all too soon it's time to fight Blaine. Growlithe is first, and we take it down in one hit. Ponyta's next, and we take it to a Sliver, and Blaine heals a few turns before we get a high roll on the damage, knocking it out. Rapidash is pretty easy to take down, but then Arcanine can take us down pretty easily. Maybe this won't be as easy as I hoped, and sadly it definitely isn't. We do have to level up for the first time in a long time, so all the way at level 75, we try again. At this level, we can take down both the Growlithe and the Ponyta with no issue. With Rapidash, we can take it to red, and for the first time in what feels like forever, it finally misses Fire Blast. So after too many heal-ups, we can take it down, still with full health. With Arcanine, we smoke screen it, take about a third of its health with Return, and then actually get a crit on the next attack to take it down, though you can see how much damage just one Fire Blast did. But for now, on to Giovanni. Giovanni starts with Rhyhorn, and we use Return, taking it to not quite half, and then we can take it to almost red. Rhyhorn misses, and Giovanni heals up, and a few turns later, we take it out thanks to a crit. Dugtrio's next, and we outspeed and take it down in one shot. Nidoqueen is next, and Body Slam does a little damage as we take it to red, and then Giovanni heals up, but 2 turns later, it goes down. Nidoking opens up with Thrash, and when it's out, we open with Return, taking it to a single pixel of HP before it goes down. That crit was definitely overkill. Last but not least, though, we have Rhyhorn, and this does take a few turns given their direct resistance, but we're able to take it out without too much trouble, and we can move on. We have one more battle to get through, and after that, we'll be able to take a look at each of the Elite Four members as a whole, but it's hard to say if we'll be able to get through this particular battle without having to level up. The rival first starts with Pidgeot, and we open with Koffing. Wing attack crits, and we use Sludge, taking it to red as another wing attack connects before we take it down. Alakazam is next, and it outspeeds us using Calm Mind, but we can take it down with a single Sludge. Growlithe is out, and we continue with Sludge, taking it down in one go. Rhyhorn comes out, and we swap over to Return, and this takes a while. But we do manage to take it down, though it did take a good chunk of health away from us. With Blastoise, it uses Water Gun, and we use Sludge, poisoning it, and it sets up Rain Dance. We go to Smokescreen, mostly wanting to stall it out if we have to. Water Gun misses, we take it to red with Sludge, another Water Gun misses, and Shockwave knocks it out. And then last up is Execute, and we use Sludge, taking it down in one go. Alright, as we go into Victory Road, looking at the Elite Four, I'm not 100% sure how things are going to go. Lorelei could be easy, but we do have Shockwave, and while it's not powerful, at least it's super effective. Bruno, well, I could see the Onix being an issue unless we swap out a move for Ice Beam. It probably won't do much, but Onix isn't great. Agatha, probably going to be a slugfest since we're both poison types. And then Lance, yeah, Lance will be a monster. Lorelei is first, so we did upgrade Shockwave to Thunderbolt and take it to red as Hail is set up. Lorelei heals up, so we swap over to Sludge, mostly to see how much damage that does. That takes it to half, so we swap back to Thunderbolt, taking it down. Slowbro's out, and we swap back to Sludge, doing almost half. It uses Amnesia, and we use Thunderbolt, hoping to avoid putting it in healing range, which we kind of do since it doesn't heal, but it does hit hard with Surf. Cloyster is next and likes to stall, but after a few turns, we take it out with Thunderbolt. Jinx is next, and we use Sludge, taking it out in one turn. And then finally, it's Lapras, and we use Smokescreen as Surf still connects and washes away our attempt. A few attempts in, and Thunderbolt takes it out in a few turns. Slowbro is next, so we can take it to yellow as it uses Yawn, but we take it out before Cloyster is out. Since it likes to waste time, this is the best possible Pokemon to be put asleep against. We don't get any damage dealt with us because it just sets up spikes and uses Protect before it goes down. With Jinx, it actually misses Lovely Kiss, so it goes down easy. And then last is Lapras, and we use Return, taking it to low yellow. We could Confuse Raid, but the berry takes it out of healing. Thankfully, next turn, we push past the confusion and take it out to move on to Bruno. With Bruno, we use Smokescreen against the Onix before going on the offensive with Sludge and picking away at it the best that we can. I truthfully regret not grabbing Ice Beam. After that, Hitmonchan is out and we can take it out into Thunderbolts. Hitmonlee actually misses both of its attacks, so it goes down. And with the next Onix, we repeat the Smokescreen process and then begin using Return and Sludges, taking it down. Machamp, horrifying, uses Bulk Up and we use Thunderbolt, then Smokescreen it. Crosschop does take us all the way down to 17 HP before we take it down to win the battle, although it was a narrow victory. Now, you remember how I said Agatha probably wouldn't be an issue? You know how I'm always wrong? Yeah, Agatha is good about putting us to sleep and then just taking the time to absolutely wreck our attempts time after time. If it's not Sleep Dream Eater, it's Curse, and we are bulky but not bulky enough to survive Curse. Let's skip to level 80. Gengar goes to half with Thunderbolt, and we paralyze it, then take it down. Haunter misses Hypnosis and uses Mean Look as we take it down. With the next Gengar, we swap between Sludge and Thunderbolt, and we actually paralyze it as well, being able to take it down. Golbat goes down in one shot, and then with the Arbok, we Smokescreen it as it takes us to red, then misses its next 3 attacks as we chip away at it for a really weird victory, but honestly, I'm not going to complain, I'm just happy to be past this. On to Lance, and Lance is just another trainer that we're struggling against hardcore. Koffing's lack of, well, a lot of things are honestly starting to catch up to it. What I'll do, as always, is show some footage in the background of us losing. We lose time after time, and even at level 100, we're still losing quite a few times. I don't know what it is about Lance. I don't know if Ice Beam would have made that much of a difference given our special, but this is rough. At level 100, Lance starts with Gyarados, and we take it out with Thunderbolt, and then with Aerodactyl, it hits us with Ancient Power, and since it doesn't get the Omni Boost, we can take it down with Thunderbolt. As Dragonite comes out, we use Smokescreen to hopefully avoid some Outrages. We swap over to Thunderbolt as Outrage misses, then hits, but then it goes down. After that, we repeat this process of Smokescreening and Sludge strategy with the Dragonairs, and finally that's that. Thank goodness. One more battle to go. Now, we do swap moves, because I'll be honest, we spend about an hour on this fight, and that's with both speed up and resets. So we definitely need Double Team rather than Smokescreen because we're getting absolutely wrecked, but let's take a look at the footage. We start by building up Double Teams as the Pidgeot uses Aerial Ace, but we are able to take it down not long after we swap to attacking. Alakazam is next and sets up Future Sight as we take it down with Sludge Bomb. The following Executor is able to go down in a one-shot as well. As Rhydon comes out, we swap to Shadow Ball, then Sludge Bomb wants to poison it before it goes down. As Arcanine comes out, our double teams pay off as we avoid every attack it dishes at us and take it out. Finally, it's Blastoise and we avoid Hydro Pumps, which is basically the only way to victory, and after he spends a lot of time healing and a lot of luck on our part, we take it down to finally win this battle. It's been a while since I've had a Pokemon challenge take that long and have that many attempts. Even looking at the script now, it's about 5,000 words and a little over 8 pages, partly due to a smaller font in some spaces. However, I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I think I'll eventually do this with a Weezing, mostly to see how that goes. However, going into the new year, I do think it's time to travel back a few years. I had mentioned about the challenges on the channel, so we'll be visiting Bulbasaur next week. Spoiler alert, yes, he can beat the game, but I have a few things that I'm going to be changing up with that particular video in regards to the time and levels, so make sure to check that out. Going into the new year, thanks so many of you for watching. We've increased our watch hours by over 100 hours in the past week, so thank you for that, and I hope that you all had a happy and safe new year. I can't believe we haven't had a Pokemon challenge since last year. Okay, that's my only joke. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you had a good holiday and a good day, and as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!